Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari Hari
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदामयं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापरमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपां साग्रजातां सहगणामृतं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं Advaita Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Bhagavanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudevi Ramami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatayubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namade Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Astadati Shakari. Can everyone hear? I am sincerely grateful for this opportunity to be with each one of you at our Bhakti Center. When I say our Bhakti Center, that means your Bhakti Center. And when your Bhakti Center applies to everyone, it becomes our Bhakti Center. Our center to learn the art and culture of exchanging love on the deepest spiritual level of consciousness. Today, Sharad Purnima, the full moon night of the season Sharad, is also called Ras Purnima, the night when Krishna performs the fullest expression of love with his devotees, the gopis of Vrindavan. It is very special for us, as Jaya Baranga Prabhu was telling, for many reasons. Today is the 50th anniversary of one of the most historical moments in our hearts. In 1972, our beloved Guru Srila Prabhupada invited for the first time a group of devotees from all over the world to come to spend 1 month in Vrindavan with him. At the very place of the Samadhi for the sacred tomb of Srila Rupa Goswami to discuss the nectar of devotion of the Bhakti Rasamrita Singh. Actually, in that very place, Srila Prabhupada lived for about 6 years before he ever came to the West. Of course, this year is the 100th anniversary of when Srila Prabhupada was given that instruction in Calcutta. There's so many anniversaries. And in the level of eternity, anniversaries have another experience in the heart. In 1922, in Calcutta, our beloved Guru Srila Prabhupada was approximately 25 years old. He was brought to a rooftop on a street called Fulfaganga Junction Road to meet a very great saint, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And when our Srila Prabhupada bowed down, he had never met him, he had never seen him. While his head was still touching the ground, before he even looked up to see who this person is, he received an instruction. I remember telling this story to the leader of another lineage many years later, quite recently. And when he heard this, he jumped up from his seat, began to cry, and said, "This was not an instruction, this was sacred prophecy." The words were, "You are an educated young man. Bring the message of Lord Chaitanya in the English language all over the world." At the time, Srila Prabhupada was a Gandhian, so it didn't make sense to him. India was under British regime. There was a lot of oppression, and practically the whole country wanted independence. They were speaking of revolution, and Srila Prabhupada was completely absorbed, actually, in that movement. So he expressed his heart. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the words that he spoke in response are perhaps more relevant today than ever before. He said there will always be different political parties, there will be always different nationalistic interests, there will always be so many different opinions and different arguments about so many different things. But there's one great need. These things are always changing. The eternal truth is that we are all eternal souls. We are all part of Krishna, or God. And to love Krishna is the true dharma, the true nature of the soul. And in that love, we learn to see every living being with equal vision. That is the only solution to the problems of the world. Whatever changing politics and ideologies are going around, still everyone has to grow old, get diseased, and die. and the Supreme Soul from whom everything is emanating. The absolute Supreme Person who is all beautiful, the Supreme Lover and Beloved. That is called Krishna conscious. It cannot wait. Years ago on that rooftop, Srila Prabhupada took that instruction as his life and soul. Years later, to prepare, many years later, about 40 years later, something, I think 1922, yeah. Over 35 years later, he went to live in Vrindavan, where he prepared. And he decided the best place to prepare is beside the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami at the Radha Damodar temple. There he translated and wrote purports for the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Took him several years. He was all alone. He had no funds. He would be clicking away with a manual typewriter day and night. He had to go to Delhi by third-class train, begging people, literally begging, can you give me some donate paper to publish this book? And because he had no money, out of goodwill, publishers would, on consignment. When he completed the first canto, this kind of sounds like a 1965 sound system. It's very authentic experience. Can you hear? Yes. Thank you. For those years in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada would tell us every day he would spend long durations of time in the courtyard behind the temple, between the bhajan kutir, the place of worship, and the tomb or the samadhi of Rupa Goswami, praying to bring people from all over the world to Vrindavan. Praying to bring the culture and the spirit of devotion in Vrindavan to the world. In 1965, he boarded a cargo ship. He had free passage, 38 days over sea, heart attack, seasickness, and he ultimately arrived in New York City and established the movement of Lord Chaitanya on the same block that we are sitting, 26 2nd Avenue. In 1966, a few people started taking interest. After almost a year of him just wandering from place to place in New York without any help from anyone, In fact, Srila Prabhupada explained that he had no money, he had no means, no help. He said, I was practically wandering New York City like a vagabond. He had left Vrindavan, the holiest of all holy places, where he was living in the very heart of Vrindavan, the Radha Damodar temple. Why did he stay here? To bring the teachings, the culture, and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Gradually, people started taking interest. More and more. A center in San Francisco, and Santa Fe, and Montreal, London, Germany. In 1972, it was probably about 30 or 40 centers by then. Srila Prabhupada for the first time invited devotees from all over the world, come to Vrindavan. I will stay with you at my very home where I prepared for my journey. It's interesting. 1922, he got the instruction, the 50th anniversary of that. In 1972, he brought devotees from all over the world to Vrindavan. And there wasn't all that money that could come. In fact, Srila Prabhupada's personal assistant at that time in the writing of his books, Purnima Prabhu, is today living right here at the Bhakti Center. Yes, that was 50th anniversary. We can never imagine, but we can become very enlivened and purified just by imagining the imagination of what Srila Prabhupada must have been feeling. To be sitting right at that place where the 6 school Swamis would meet every day, speaking the nectar of devotion to his devotees all over. Going every day to bathe in Yamuna. It was truly historic. And he did this for the month of Kartik. So today is the 50th anniversary of that. When he began the series of Nectar of Devotion lectures in Vrindavan. What was Srila Prabhupada's instruction given 100 years ago? To bring Lord Chaitanya's teachings to the world. Here at the Bhakti Center, Radhanath came many years ago, and as Dayo Gauranga said, actually the religious corporation in New York City, Prabhu just discovered this. Just recently, he found the papers of the original incorporation of who the Bhakti Center is. And he found a date, and he decided to do an astrological calculation of the date. And it was actually signed and accepted on Sharad Purnima. I didn't know till 3 days ago. this is the birthday of the Bhakti Center in that sense. And how many years ago Lord Chandra came? 4 years?
5.
This is the 5th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya coming, which is so special. Because Srila Prabhupada, his instruction was to bring the message and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya to the Western world. He began it on this block, and today, Sharad Purnima, was the occasion when Sri Gaur Chandra, the presence of Lord Chaitanya, was installed on our altar. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Sukadeva Goswami tells how on this particular, at this moment probably, because I believe it's around moonrise now, is the beginning of the Rasa Leela. Krishna, Gopinath, sing the moon rising. Most beautiful moon rising, the golden moon, illuminating all the trees in the forest, illuminating the beautiful rippling surface of Yamuna River, illuminating the sky in such wonderful ways. Krishna's Yogamaya potency, his internal spiritual energy, infused everything and everyone with the greatest happiness. Flowers were blooming with fragrances. Birds were singing the sweetest melodies. The bees were humming in ecstatic love. Everything was so charged. There was a tree in Vrindavan, Bamsivat, one of the holiest of holy places. It is so wonderful how in our spiritual tradition there is such reverence for the sacredness of nature. For 5,000 years, people have been going to that tree with tears of devotion and bowing down. And feeling profound spiritual transformation, remembering the history that is in fact infused within that tree. It's not just a matter of a memory of what happened long ago. Within the remembrance, the sacred tree was infused with this beautiful pastime. Krishna played upon a very small bamboo flute called Bamsi. He played the 5th note of the flute. The infinite, intimate, supreme love of God from his heart merged into his breath through his lips into the holes of the flute and played the most beautiful of all music. All us know how much music touches the human heart. Sometimes when people hear a song, even from 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years ago, they're just brought back to the moment they first heard that song. And they start to cry. Have any of you had that experience? Music very much is like the soundtrack of our life. Because music has a power to enchant the mind and pierce the heart. Why? The origin is Krishna, the supreme original musician. It's not just music. Radha Muralidhar are the source of all love. Krishna is calling Radha with the fullest, richest origin of all love emanating from his heart, coming through the flute in the form of music. And each gopi who he was playing for, wherever they were, when they heard it, it entered their ears, through their minds, into their hearts, and literally captured their souls. The saints of the Vaishnava tradition and the scriptures themselves describe what is the nature of this loving exchange. In this world, it is human nature to take things for granted. What is sacred is perceived to be ordinary, and what is ordinary is considered to be so valuable. Krishna tells in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita that for an enlightened person, they consider night the time to sleep, what the ordinary person considers day, and vice versa. What is of true value? Sukadeva Goswami, one of the greatest of all renunciates in history, an eternal associate of Sri Radha in the spiritual world, and Lord Chaitanya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Rupa Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami, Madhvacharya, the greatest ascetics, the most perfect celibates, the most highly enlightened, realized, and learned persons, they all unanimously declare that the purest, most sacred and intimate form of spiritual loving exchange is what takes place in the Rasa Leela between Krishna and the gopis. It is the pure love of the soul for God and God for the soul. The gopis, whatever they were doing, they just left it all behind and ran into the forest in the moonlight. They were being called by Krishna. Actually, Krishna's calling all of us. But some of us are just beginning to hear the call. He's been calling for all of eternity. He never stops calling. Suradam Sarva Bhutana. The supreme truth. The Lord is the ever well-wishing friend of all living beings. The idea of the Bhakti Center is to help one another to hear the sweet call of God for us to be reunited. The gopis left everything behind. They left their homes. And none of the gopis knew any other gopis were coming. Each gopi was hearing her name in her heart through the song of Krishna's flute. Krishna's calling me. So the nature of God's love. Sometimes for us, if we want to make somebody feel special, so many other people feel, why is he or she not making me feel special? But Krishna can simultaneously make everyone feel you are the only one. And even when hundreds of millions and trillions and quadrillions and quintillions or whatever, even when we're all together, we still feel I'm the only one. But we also understand that everyone else is feeling that too. So there's no envy. There can be no love, there can be no envy in the presence of the light of love of God. And it was at Bansivat that all the gopis met with Krishna. Krishna welcomed them. You have come and you have seen the beautiful moonlit forest of Vrindavan. And you've heard the birds singing so sweetly, and you've seen all the flowers blooming in the trees. And you've met me. So all of your desires are fulfilled. Now you should all go home. Because you have your duties there. And Holy said, you are the soul of all souls. Every soul is a part of you. We are all eternal, loving servants of Krishna, God. It is you that is the life force that we love within anyone. The gopis were quite philosophical in this instance. Why do we love anyone? It's not just the body we love, because when the soul leaves the body, we discard the body. Some throw bodies in rivers, some throw on fire, some bury underground, some feed to birds. And why are we crying upon the apparent death? It's because the person we love has left that residence of the body. body is like a vehicle. It's a place of residence that the soul temporarily takes shelter of. It's the soul that we love. It's the soul that we feel loved by. Why? Because the soul is part of Krishna. Mamaibamso jivaloki jivabhuta sanatana. If we can feel such a powerful experience, it may be the lover that we love, maybe the parent, maybe the friend. We all know the pain of losing a loved one. Some of us understand the depth of experience when we love someone. That's the exchange of our soul with an infinitesimal particle of Krishna. Like the difference between the sun ray and the sun planet. If we think the sun ray is giving a lot of light, what is the sun planet giving? And similarly, if we're experiencing the love of a spark of God, and if we're feeling love for that little spark, what is the experience of loving and feeling loved by the complete supreme Son of Krishna? So the gopis were explaining all of our relationships is only because of your presence in their hearts that there's love and there's duty and there's life. So we are here with you. Why are you sending us back? They even gave an example. If you water the root of the tree, then every part of the tree is satisfied. You are the root of everything. Janmat yasya yadaha. Except our loving service. Krishna was happily defeated by them. He said, yes, stay. And they began to have these beautiful spiritual exchanges, soul to soul. Through dance, through song, through poetry, through words. Love is expressed. And the substance of the expression is the intent of affection within it. Krishna disappeared. He disappeared from all of the gopis. Each one was thinking that Krishna is only with me. And suddenly Krishna was with none of them. And they began to search. Through the forest, they were asking the moon, asking the stars, asking the birds, asking the trees and the bushes. Oh, such a lady. You are a lady just like us. We know what we're feeling. Where is Krishna? Nobody else is telling us, but you can tell us. Mother Earth, where is Krishna? They began to follow his footprints. And it's a beautiful narration in Srimad Bhagavatam. But Krishna left all the gopis to be with Srimati Radharani. In doing so, the very essence, the crescendo, the summit of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is revealed. the feminine aspect of the one supreme Godhead, who we call Radha, is the source of all love. And Krishna is the supreme object of love. And the love between Radha and Krishna is the fullness of all love that exists. And then they found Radha sitting alone, because Krishna left her too. And they were roaming through the forest together, and they came to a place that was so dark they could see nothing. And what could they do? But they began kirtan together, chanting Krishna's holy names and glories. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtana. This chanting of the holy names that we're doing kirtan is actually an eternal pastime in the spiritual world that has descended into this world. And they returned back to the riverbank where there was moonlight, and they chanted from their heart of hearts. They recited a beautiful prayer from the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled the Gopi Gita. And as they were singing, Krishna appeared to them. Krishna was demonstrating that through this congregational chanting of the holy names, Krishna appears within our hearts and reciprocates with our love. The gopis challenged Krishna. He said, sometimes a person only shows affection to those who are affectionate toward them. Others, they are affectionate even when someone does not reciprocate affection with them at all. And yet there's a third type of person who's not affectionate to anybody. Krishna, please explain why. They were actually challenging him because he left them after they had surrendered their hearts and everything. Krishna responded that some friends only will reciprocate friendship with each other when they benefit themselves. And they will not exchange such friendship if they're not expecting something to come for their own selfish interest. Krishna said such people are actually selfish. It's not true friendship. Others who are genuinely merciful or who have affection like a parent, they will continuously be affectionate even when people are not reciprocating affection at all, even if they're being neglected. They are true friends. They are the true principles of religion, and they are real well-wishers. And then there are some people who, they may be spiritually very detached, or they may be temporarily thinking themselves very materially fulfilled, or they're ungrateful or envious toward their superiors. And they will not show love even for those who love them. And Krishna said, but I leave. I apparently, temporarily, appear to not reciprocate with those who worship me only for the purpose of intensifying their love for me. Just like a person who finds a treasure and they're celebrating their great achievement, and then they lose it. They can't think of anything except that treasure. He said, for my devotees, for those living entities who worship me with love, if I do not appear to be reciprocating with them, it is only because I want to intensify their love. But I always love my devotees. Krishna always loves everyone. He's everyone's supreme well-wisher. And then Krishna told gopis that even in an entire lifetime of Brahma, 311 trillion years, I can never repay my debt for you. Because you were willing to do anything just to please me. It was at that time that the Rasa Lila took place. That beautiful song and dance between Krishna and gopis. The pure love of the soul. I remember in 1971 when I lived in Vrindavan. The whole of Vrindavan for several weeks. At that time, it was still a very small village. And there was only 3 not Indians that were living in the whole of Vrindavan. Now there's people from so many places. There's so many beautiful forests and pastures and cows everywhere. Very simple. And it was just such an exciting festival. People were talking about it for weeks. Ras Purnima was coming. Collecting flowers, cooking wonderful offerings. Almost every ashram would bring their deities out into a courtyard, into a garden in the moonlight, and just sit and sing all night. And one of Srila Prabhupada's beloved godbrothers, Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, he just sat in front of these beautiful deities of Radha Govinda and was singing all night, and we were all with him. It's just very beautiful. And as the moon was rising, how our state of consciousness can transform our perception of reality. You know, at the time I was perhaps 20 years old. So how many full moons did I see in my life? I used to hear songs about full moons and all that. But that night, anticipating that moon coming in, rising in the horizon. And as soon as that moon started coming, it was a total transformation of consciousness. As we're singing kirtan, viewing the beautiful form of Radha, Govinda, chanting the holy names of the Lord, very sweet melodies singing. And as the moon was rising, I could feel in my own little way, I could feel how we can truly experience God's grace and God's love through nature if we're in the right state of consciousness. Is God nature? Simultaneously, yes and no. Nature is God's nature. It's Krishna's energy. It's not that the moon is Krishna, but Krishna's presence is in the moon. Krishna's presence is everywhere if we recognize it. And that stimulates our devotion. Our beloved Guru Srila Prabhupada he inspired devotees beginning right here in the Lower East Side of New York in 2nd Avenue. Started inspiring to make paintings of Krishna. And they didn't look like this at that time. They actually looked like really simple, sweet children's paintings. But, you know, in some ways they were even better. They had such innocence. And Srila Prabhupada was so proud. His devotees were just, they liked to paint Krishna. And gradually I remember one of the greatest artists in modern history of India, Indra Sharma. I would regularly go to his house. Bhutan Sharma, his daughter, would always be there. And Indra Sharma, he was truly born and raised in a lineage of artists that goes back centuries. He was so recognized and honored as a truly master artist. And he said back in the early 70s, Srila Prabhupada sent a few of his artists to study under him. And he saw how they were painting very simple. And he saw how they developed over the years. He said, this art is the greatest art in the world, he's saying, in his opinion, because it's completely expressing their love for their Guru and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada called them windows into the spiritual world. So whether we're looking at this moon tonight, or whether we're seeing the paintings, or whether we're seeing each other, even if we're hearing the sirens of New York City, it's not by Krishna's floor. invoke within us an awareness of God's love in our heart. When a siren blares, there's an emergency, there's a tragedy. It should awaken a feeling of compassion. And a certain urgent need to find that place in our souls where there's true peace, true joy, and true love, and to share that with the world. And that's where our story began, because that's the only real need. Everything else can be fulfilled where there is the awakening of that love. Sharad Purnima, first day of Kartik, which is considered the holiest of all holy months.